Hello students. Okay, this is the last video for chapter number 15 called drainage system. We have completed up to now 4 chapters. For this chapter especially called drainage system. Do you remember? Up to now I have given common information about rivers, Himalayan rivers, main 3 major rivers of Himalaya and main 6 rivers of peninsular rivers. So today I will discuss about lakes. Today I will discuss about lakes. Before I discuss, let me tell you, 97% of water on the whole earth is saline. Means what is the meaning of saline? Salty. See, 97% of whole world on the earth, 97% water is saline, means salty. Only 3% of water we have fresh water, right? Only 3% of water we have on this earth fresh water. See once again, out of 3, 1/4 part of water in the form of ice. In the form of ice. It means see, we have out of 3, just 3 part of that water to drink. Means what I am saying, see, 97% is saline, means salty, not useful for drinking. 3% fresh water, useful for drinking. Out of 3, 1/4 part in the form of ice, means only the less we have for drinking, right? So that you have to keep in mind. We have to save water. We should not waste water. Okay. So that was about water, whether it's river, ocean, lake or rain, right? Rainwater. Whatever. Let's start. Today I am going to start to explain about lakes. Up to now what have you studied? Some information about rivers, which types of rivers, Himalayan rivers, peninsular rivers. So today I will discuss about lakes. Today I will discuss about lakes. Before I start, which are the importance of lakes, let me tell you how many types of lakes are there in India. How many types of lakes are there in India? So first of all, before I start, let me tell you, some lakes are permanent. Some lakes are permanent. What is the meaning of permanent? 365 days full of water. Some lakes are permanent, 365 days full of water. Some lakes are seasonal. Some lakes are seasonal. Only when rain will come, that time water will be there in the lake, otherwise not. Some lakes are salty. Before I start types of lakes, let me tell you, some lakes are salty. Means when you just taste the water, you will find water is salty. And some lakes are having fresh water. See, according to types of lakes, we will study. Some lakes will be permanent, full of water throughout the year. Some lakes will be seasonal, only in rainy season you will find water, otherwise dried up. Then some lakes are salty and some lakes are having fresh water. Okay. So this way there are 5 types of lake. There are 5 types of lake according to this characteristics. Okay. So let's see which 5 types of lakes that we have in India. First one we have glacier lakes. First one we have, the name of the lake is glacier lakes. What do you mean by glacier, my dear students? What do you mean by glacier? Glacier means snow, right? So generally glacier lakes are found in Himalayan region. Himalayan region. Where can you find glacier lakes? Himalayan region. Why? Because snow melting. See, have you remember or do you remember Himalayan rivers? 365 days they are full of water. Why? Because of snow melting, and in the rainy season water comes too much in the form of rain. Okay. So glacier lakes are found in Himalayan region because of snow melting. See, 365 days full of water, and especially you can find in Kashmir. So Such kind of lake especially you can find in Kashmir because of snow melting. They are located in Himalayan region, and glacial lakes are having fresh water. See, glacial lakes are having fresh water. They do not have salty water. Why? Because rain comes, it becomes snow. When summer season comes, it will melt, and because of that you can get fresh water, right? So which are the characteristics of glacial lakes? First, they found in Himalayan region. Second, they are recognized because of glacier. The snow melts, and that's why we can find such kind of lakes. Then 365 days full of water, permanent. Then in Kashmir especially you can find. And the last one, we can have fresh water, especially in glacier lakes. Let's see the example of glacial lakes. Dal Lake, it is very famous as a glacial lake, Dal Lake. Then after in Nainital Lake, see, Dal Lake, Nainital Lake, these two are very famous for glacial lakes, right? And third one is Buller Lake. Now, see, these three are the example of glacial lakes. First one, Dal Lake, Nainital Lake, and Buller Lake. These three are very famous for having fresh water, plus they are known as glacial lakes, right? Now, Buller Lake is the largest lake for fresh water in India. Buller Lake is the largest lake for especially fresh water in India, right? So Buller Lake is the largest lake in India for getting fresh water, originates from Himalayan region. Alright, so this was about glacial lakes. You can find especially in Jammu Kashmir, 365 days full of water, and most important thing, snow melting. Most important thing, snow melting. Clear about glacial lakes? First one. Let's have second one. First one, glacial lake. I discussed the characteristics of glacial lakes. I explained and I gave the example of glacial lake, Dal Lake, Nainital Lake, and Buller Lake. And Buller Lake is the largest for getting fresh water in the whole India. Okay. Second one we have Oxbow Lake. See, second one is called Oxbow Lake. What is the meaning of Oxbow? Why they are called Oxbow? Let me tell you. For example, do you remember in a first video I discussed about meander, maybe second or first, meander, right? Meander. Oxbow lakes are formed because of meander. For example, any river is flowing such a way. I told you, right? They are flowing by taking twists and turns like a snake. Now do you remember? Some rivers flow like a snake, and they go twist and turn. They are not going the straight. They are going this way. In Gujarati we say paku choku, right? So this when they go now, sometimes they are changing the direction. And you can find some kind of water over here. It is cut off from river. Such kind of the lakes, it is cut off from river, and this kind of lake is called Oxbow Lake. Let me repeat. When rivers flow by taking twist and turn, such kind of portion of water will be cut off from the river, and you can find over here that is Oxbow Lake because of meander. That going twist and turn, and this way some part of water will be separated from the river. That is called Oxbow Lake. Right? Now, third one we have. Clear about Oxbow Lake? There is no example of Oxbow Lake given in textbook. So, third one we have, that is lagoons. Third type of lake, that is lagoons type of lake. It is called lagoons lake, right? Third type of lake that we have called lagoons lake. Now, such kind of lakes are salty. I told you previously, right? That some lakes are salty, some lakes are having fresh water, some are seasonal, some are permanent, having 365 days water. So lagoons lakes are salty. Why? Because they are connected with the sea. Because they are connected with the sea. Why connected with the sea? Have you heard tides and oats? Have you studied the tides and oats? Because of tide in the ocean, you know, tide will come in the ocean. It means river, ocean will overflow, it will come out, and because of that water will come in a particular place. There you can find lagoons lake. Because of tides and oat in the ocean that is connected with sea, and some portion of water will be separated from the ocean in a particular part, that is called lagoon. What is that called? Lagoon, right? That is connected with the sea, and obviously connected with the sea means you will find salty water. So see, lagoons lakes are connected with sea. The main word tides and oats you can find, and these lakes, the example of these lakes are Chilika, Pulicat and Kolleru. See, Chilika Lake, Pulicat Lake and Kolleru Lake. These are three examples of lagoons lake. Means because of tides you can find three kinds of lakes: Chilika, Pulicat and Kolleru. Now let's have fourth one after lagoons. Four types of lakes, that is, fourth one is inland drainage lakes. Now see, inland drainage lakes. What is the title of this chapter? Drainage, right? So such kind of lake, it means, let me show you. This is particular land. One river will flow from here, one river will come. Means from every direction, any river will come and mixes on this land. And this way, sometimes in summer season, rivers will dry, but some water will be collected over here. Such kind of lake is called inland drainage lake. How? Particular land, rivers will come and the river's water will be dry, and particular water will be there, called inland drainage lakes. Right? Now, inland drainage lakes are having salt water. Means salty water. See, lagoons lakes are having salty water, inland drainage lakes are having salty water, but glacial lakes are having fresh water, right? So, inland drainage lakes are having salty water. The example is most important. It can be asked in 1 marks question, Sambar Lake. In 1 marks it can be asked, which is the famous example of inland drainage lakes, that is Sambar Lake. Why? Sambar Lake is very useful to produce salt. Located in Rajasthan. See, Sambar Lake is very useful to produce salt located in Rajasthan, right? So in Rajasthan, Sambar Lake is there, Idli Sambar, right? Maybe some students don't like that we have in our school. So Sambar Lake is very useful to produce salt located in Rajasthan. So this was about inland drainage lakes. Beach lakes are salty, lagoons and inland drainage lakes. Oxbow Lake sometimes salty, sometimes fresh, right? That are not sure. But glacial lakes are having fresh water. These four are types of lakes. Fifth one is there, but not that much. We can say homemade or artificial. Just only definition is there. Examples of these lakes are not there. If in front of our house, if we just dig the land, if we supply water, that is called homemade or artificial lake, right? So lakes are there 5 types of, right? Rivers are so many in India. Lakes are so many in India. The advantage of river you can find. The advantage of lakes you can find. So these are 5 types of lakes that I have discussed. Now let me talk about importance of lakes. Let me talk about the importance of lakes. Let me write importance of lakes. See, I will talk about, you will come to know which are the importance of lakes. First one, it enhances natural beauty. I will explain through example. See, it enhances natural beauty. Here you can write, have you seen Mount Abu? Have you seen Nainital? Right? So when you go over there, just imagine, in Nainital, in Srinagar, in Mount Abu, if lake is not there, can you find natural beauty? No, right? Because of lakes around that you can find natural beauty. So Nainital, Srinagar, Mount Abu, there are so many different lakes in India. So what is the first importance of lake? That is, it enhances the natural beauty. Automatically it looks beautiful. Do you like to travel? Right? Such kind of lakes? Obviously, yes. Right? We like everyone. Everyone likes. Okay. Second one we have, after enhances natural beauty, lakes are their habitat of aquatic life. See, you know, fish, crocodiles, small insects, they are living in the lakes, right? So for them it is a habitat. For them it is a habitat. For them it is a home. For whom? Crocodile especially, all types of fish, some small insects or some small we can find animals, right? So for them lakes are as a habitat for aquatic life. Third one we have, it moderates the climate of surrounding. Now see, for example, outside of our school, if there is a lake, then will you feel that cold warm fresh air will come? Obviously yes. Wherever you find lake or river, around that area you will have fresh air, you will have cold air. Means you will not feel that much hot, right? So this is about moderate. Lakes are useful to moderate climate of surrounding. Lakes are useful to moderate climate of surrounding. Then after, just imagine, 1 year there is a drought. If drought or dry season, that time lakes are useful to give water, to supply water. So when there is dry season, you can have water from the lakes. If river is not available in that particular area, if lake is available, in lake also you can find too much amount of water. So if dry season, if there is a drought, that time you can find or you can supply water from the lakes. Now most important, if dry season, then also if there is flood, just imagine, there is a flood in particular river. So that river flow water will go in the lakes, and because of that flood will not come in that particular area, right? So this way lakes are useful to stop flood or to help how to save people, and dry season moderate the climate of the surrounding plus habitat of aquatic life, and most important for natural beauty. Most important for natural beauty. And the last one, Last one, that is most important, tourist. Tourist center. See, tourist center. You know what? From outside the country, they are coming to India for travel, especially to see natural resources like rivers, oceans, lakes, right? Though in other countries you can find, but in India such a beautiful places are there. So these are the importance of lakes you can find, right? These are the importance of lakes that I have discussed, can be asked of 3 marks, right? You have to expand, right? Okay. Up to now I have discussed different types of lakes and importance of lakes. So I will talk about now the second last topic of this chapter, that is economic importance of rivers. After lakes, let's discuss which are the economic importance of rivers. My dear students, let me tell you what is the meaning of economic. What is the meaning of economic? Related to money, right? Without money, nothing is useful, right? Money is must, and people are earning money and they are doing so many hard work. Even you are studying for earning money, right? Obviously, you will do a job, you will be a doctor, engineer or teacher, right? So, let's see how rivers are useful related to money, related to economic, right? First one, the water of river is useful for economic purpose, agriculture. Agriculture. See, water of the river is useful for agriculture. It is useful for agriculture, plus it is useful for irrigation. See, you know, if in agriculture rain will not come, that time rivers water are useful for irrigation, for especially for agriculture. First one agriculture, then irrigation. Third one, water is useful in industries. You know, industry water is must. Let me tell you, for all big machines. So river water is useful in industries in an economic way, agriculture plus irrigation. Then after, it is useful for hydro power generation. Hydropower generation. The meaning is electricity. The meaning is electricity. Right? So, the water of river is useful for hydropower generation, especially to produce electricity. You know, on river, dams are produced. Right? Because of this dam, electricity is useful, and thermal power station like hydropower generation to produce electricity you can find on the river in the form of dam, right? So this was about. Next economic advantage of river is navigation. See, navigation, it means, you know, national waterway. How aeroplanes and buses, trains that join one city to another for exporting and importing goods, right? Same way, navigation is useful, that is called national waterway. And let me tell you, national waterway is cheapest. National waterway is cheapest than other transportation. National waterway, that is navigation, is very cheapest than other transportation, right? Like airway or any other way, landway. National waterway is cheapest, especially for transporting goods, right? That is navigation. And the last one is settlements. From ancient time, so many people have settled on the river bank. There are so many rivers like Allahabad, Delhi, then Bharuch, Surat, right, Agra. So many cities are there. Kolkata. They are settled on the river bank. So this way, economically, settlement, the people are living near the river bank. Do you like to stay or do you like to live near the river bank? you will find fresh air, you will find natural scenery when you wake up your eyes, right? So we like to live or we like to see natural resources like river, sea, mountains, right? We feel wonderful. Okay, so these are economic advantages or importance of rivers. These also can be asked in 2 marks. In 2 marks, it can be asked how rivers are useful economic way. First one, agriculture. Second, irrigation for agriculture. Third, industries. Fourth, hydropower generation for electricity. Fifth one, navigation, national waterway. And last one, for settlement. People have settled on the river bank. I have given the example of the city's name. You can note it down. The last topic, my dear students, of this chapter. Last topic of this chapter is river pollution. See, the last topic of this chapter is river pollution. These also can be asked in 2 marks. River pollution. These also can be asked in 2 marks. So, see, before 2 minutes I discussed what is the importance of river, right? Economically, but except economically for domestic activities, right? For drinking and for all household activities, we want water. Without water, can you take bath? Without water, can you survive? No. For drinking water, we have to take, otherwise we cannot live, right? So, still, see, people do not understand. Though we use water for domestic activity, for industrialization, for urbanization, still we pollute water. Still we pollute water, right? So when we pollute water, still we consider rivers are our Lokmata. We consider rivers are holy rivers, right? We go for Ganga Darshan and all, right? We consider as a holy, we consider as a Lokmata. Still we pollute water. Still we pollute water. How? We just dump sewage water. We just dump sewage water means of the city. See, of the city. See, whichever city we dump sewage water, dirty water, we just send industry water, industries water, people are supplying in the river, right? This will be pollute the river. First, the sewage water of the city. Second, industry water we supply in the river. This will be pollute the water of river. This will be pollute river water. Do we consider Lokmata? Do we consider rivers are holy? Still, we just solid waste. We just throw solid waste, right? We just throw solid waste. See, this will be pollute water of river. Which way we pollute water? We throw sewage water of the whole city. Sewage means dirty. Then industry waters are supplied to river and solid waste. Have you seen the news how Ganga river it was polluted, right? Sabarmati river and all. So, see, though we consider Lokmata and holy, we throw. We do not think that rivers are the resource for so many things that I talk about economically, right? So what I am saying, people do not do anything. In lockdown, have you seen? In lockdown, have you seen? All the rivers were clean. In the news, have you seen? Now all the rivers, oceans, lakes, they were clean. Why? People were not allowed to go out to throw dust, right? Just looking. Because of that only in lockdown, all the rivers were clean. It means what? We throw dust and rivers are polluted. We throw dust and rivers are polluted, right? So this was about river pollution, how rivers are polluted. First, sewage water of the city. Second, industry water. And third, solid waste that we throw. Now, government has tried to stop this pollution. Government has tried to stop this pollution. For example, Action Ganga Action Plan. It was in 1985 started. See, Ganga Action Plan was started in 1985. Then it was stopped. Means nobody was supporting. If government will start and people participation will not be there, then rivers cannot be clean. It will be polluted, and polluted we will suffer. Who will suffer? We will suffer. So in 1985, Ganga Action Plan, Ganga Action Plan was started. It was stopped. Then after it was started, NRCP by the government, right? NRCP. NRCP means National River Conservation Project. See, by Narendra Modi it was started Ganga Swachhta Abhiyan also, NRCP, National River Conservation Project. But do you think it is going on? People are not supporting, though there will be so many advertisements of Swachhta Abhiyan, people will throw and throw. Means river will be polluted or not, it is in our hand. People should think, so we should start from ourselves. You decide. I will start from myself, I will not throw dust. Okay then. This was the last topic, my dear students. In this chapter we have studied main Himalayan rivers, main peninsular rivers, different types of lakes, importance of lakes, different types of river, importance of rivers, and river pollution. These 6-7 topics are major in this chapter called drainage system, right? So I have given 2-3 marks and 1 marks question in the worksheet. You read, and not only this, for the exam revise all 5 videos of this chapter and read. Reading is must. I hope you have understood, and you will prepare all these things and you will write in the worksheet. All the best for reading. Thank you.